Peace and wellness, everyone. In this video, guys, we'll be breaking down the psychology behind change, resilience, the ability to bad habits, and the ability to establish new habits. Coming from a psychological aspect, dealing with Dr. Tracey Marks, I found a lot of her work to be amazing, and she talks about resilience in this video as well. I highly recommend you take the time and listen to the full video. Have a beautiful day. Allow her to bring her on stage.
If you've been following this resilience series, you've taken quite a journey. We've looked at how your thoughts reshape your brain, how sleep and nutrition fuel your mental strength, and how tiny habits change your capacity to handle stress. But resilience isn't like finishing a course or getting a certificate. It's more like tending a garden. Different seasons call for different care. I'm Dr. Tracey Marks, a psychiatrist, and I make mental health videos to help you strengthen your mind, fortify your brain, and build resilience. Today, we're wrapping up the resilience series by talking about what it takes to keep resilience alive for the long game. And here's the thing. The way you build resilience is not always the way you maintain it. When you're learning piano, you start with the scales and finger placement. And then once you can play, the focus shifts to regular practice, adapting to new pieces and keeping up your technique. Your brain works the same way.
And this applies to us training, particularly when it comes to the advanced training, the advanced moves, and mastering the technique. And once we've mastered the technique, how we can advance on to different moves. If we fail to master the technique on certain basic fundamental moves, then advancing the moves to something that's going to be more beneficial for your body in the long run is not an option. So again, what she's saying, it relates directly to what we're doing on the physical plane when it comes to training and advancing the training. So we'll allow her to continue. I wanted to step in with that.
Early on, you're wiring new pathways, but later, the work is about maintaining those pathways and pruning what doesn't serve you and adjusting as life changes. Neuroscientists call this cognitive reserve. It's like a mental savings account that you build with every healthy choice. And every time you meditate instead of spiraling, each time you reach for nourishing food instead of stress snacks, you're making a deposit. And over time, that reserve becomes your buffer against stress, change, and even age-related decline. So what keeps your resilience strong over decades? I like to think of it in 4 pillars. Pillar 1 is your adaptive foundation, which is sleep, nutrition, and movement. And these basics will always matter, but how you meet them will shift with time. The routine that worked in your 20s won't look the same when you're caring for kids or aging parents or recovering from health setbacks.
And this is another thing that I want to get across. Again, as we age, as we experience different things with our bodies, we have to make the necessary adjustments to do what we can do with what we're working with and get the most out of it. I myself, again, I've had to make several changes over the years. Back surgery limited me, the heart condition, it limited me, the shoulder condition that I'm dealing with now has limited what it is that I can do based off what I used to be able to do. But I can still do certain things, and I am basically doing different things that are now benefiting me as much as the other things that I used to do, but in a different capacity. So that's another thing.
Flexibility here is the key. Pillar 2 is cognitive flexibility. And that's not just crossword puzzles. It's staying curious, learning new skills, and keeping a growth mindset. It's choosing to see challenges as opportunities to strengthen your brain and not threats that you should avoid. Pillar 3 is emotional regulation. Stress changes shape as you age. Career pressures, family demands, then health concerns. But the tools that we've covered, breathing, reframing, mindfulness, those are all timeless. They work no matter how life happens. Pillar 4 is social connection. Relationships are not just nice to have, they're protective factors for your brain. Strong social ties provide support, stimulation, and purpose. And this is a perfect bridge to what's coming next year when we look at the science of love, how connection reshapes your brain. And here's an important point. Your resilience needs to evolve with each stage of life. In your 20s and 30s, it's about building career stability and identity. And this is the time to lock in your foundational habits. In your 40s and 50s, it's about juggling competing demands. You need a flexible toolkit, practices that fit into 5 or 10 minutes when life is crowded. In your 60s and beyond, it's about adapting to physical changes while staying engaged, purposeful, and socially connected to people. And that's what keeps the brain strong. So, how do you make this personal? Use the 80/20 rule. Identify the few practices that give you the biggest return. Maybe it's your morning breathing reset. Maybe it's a weekly nature walk, or simply a nightly reflection. Pick 2 or 3 keystone habits that you can maintain through different seasons of life.
And I use these things in training with most of my clients, as you will see, as many of you already know. There's certain basic things that are timeless that are really the key driver behind any success that we're going to make. All the nuanced things that we add in, they are just that. They are nuanced in order to keep it fresh. But the bottom line is the squats, the arms, the chest, the shoulder work that we do. Those are the foundational pieces that will bring the best return on the investment and time that we use training those muscle groups. That's just something to add in and think about.
And pay attention to warning signs. If you're struggling with situations that used to feel manageable, or your go-to strategies don't work anymore, that's a signal. Don't throw everything out, just recalibrate. Ask, what's changed in my life and what do I need to adjust? I had to do this myself. Caring for both a Gen Z child struggling to find their way and aging parents was draining me, and my usual practices weren't enough to restore me. So I shifted my focus to my nutrition, looking for more plant-forward meals and less breakfast scones. And I prioritized getting out of the house to be with people. Now, I'm an introvert and I need time alone, but I realized that the conferences and gatherings that I stopped going to post-COVID gave me the energy that I was missing. So, this is what resilience maintenance looks like. Small recalibrations that match your current season. So where do we go from here? In the next video, we'll talk about digital brain fog.
So basically, I just wanted to drop that video on to you guys, allow you to see what I was talking about with that. Again, it's a lot of information that can be utilized in order to allow us to continue to train and get the best results that we want. But also a little precaution. More isn't better. Better is better, meaning not trying to do too much, but doing enough. That's where the balance is. We can overtrain, we can overstress the body, and we're going to have some things that will knock us out of alignment if we do that. So we'll see you guys soon.